Welcome to the Crypt of Wax, where we cover the latest metal releases. Today we are talking True Iron Will, Spirit of Steel. I don't know if this is necessarily the latest release. It's been out on the internet for a while, but it's not due to be physically released until the 31st of December. So we're in a bit of a grey area with this one, but we couldn't not talk about it. But I mean, based on the cover art alone. But yeah, this is sort of black metal in essence, but doses of heavy metal and like themes of war and victory and death and battle and all that kind of good stuff,
All that
Mike.
stuff. All the good. Is it good stuff? Yeah, maybe. In musical terms, yeah.
Yeah, musical
Not
terms.
condoning war, are we, John? We're not warmongers,
No, we're not actually. To be fair,
not arms dealers.
yeah, Crypt of War. The I saw a cool thing on the Bandcamp that said that it was finding expression in riffs that are simultaneously melodious and muscular. I thought that was a really well put
Perfect, isn't it? I read
sentence.
that.
Yeah. I thought it
Perfect.
really summed up the vibe of this record. So you sent me this saying, "Oh, let's review this. It looks really interesting." I was sold immediately on the cover art. I think it's got to go down as potentially cover art of the year. It's impossible to not love this, right?
Yeah, man. It's got. Let me just have a look at. Let me just have a look at it again.
It's got that
It's.
immortal.
I was going to say it looks like that Immortal debut, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I
it's
wonder if
got
that's like a bit of an influence on there because it's like it's almost the exact. Yeah, it's got to be in it, but it's just him.
yeah, yeah.
Fucking great.
It's really cool. But yeah, and the album doesn't disappoint. Like as soon as I put it on, I was like, "Oh fuck that! I'm into this." Like immediately. I guess for those new here, we don't really talk about these records off air. We just say, "Let's do this," and then so when we come on here, it's more of a discussion. How did you feel about this, Mike? I imagine you loved this.
Oh man, I fucking absolutely love this.
Yeah,
So I tell you what, honestly, the amount when you think right, some of the albums we've had in the latter half of this year, I'm thinking over the last couple of months,
yep,
have been so good.
yeah.
Like it's been a really strong end to the year for like albums that have come out. And this to me is right up there with them. This is fucking amazing.
I fully agree, man. I mean, we'll talk about album of the year maybe towards the end of the show, but who knows if this is going to be in there. But this is, it's
I
not
know.
your traditional black metal, is it? It's got, I'd say it's equal parts evil to like really uplifting slash
Yeah.
triumphant, isn't it? It's,
Yeah.
there's a lot of melody going on throughout this. Dare I say almost not too much, but there are moments where I was like, this can't be the same record. Like there was some moments when we go track by track, I'll talk about it, but the melody line just sounded almost like a sort of indie band or something. It was interesting.
I look, I know what you're getting at, but I love that was part of the thing that I loved about this album. I loved the melodies to it. I
Yeah.
thought it was fantastic. In fact, should we wait till we go track by track? Because I think I might know the one you're talking about. Um,
Well, yeah, okay. Should we just jump straight in then?
well, the first one, but is really melodic. I mean, that was when I heard that one. I remember thinking, so what's the first song called again? Hang on.
As the blood flag waves.
As the blood flag waves. It was so that one was like a kind of pace wise, it's quite mid pace, isn't it? Filled with so much melody in the guitar sections. It's so good. I really, really loved it. Really catchy.
Yeah,
Um, and I absolutely loved it straight from the off. And it did make me wonder, due to being the open on the track, where this album's going to go. Like I thought, is it going to kind of stay at that kind of mid pace? Is it going to be kind of a bit of this all the way through? But the album changes up a lot, doesn't it? As it goes on, brings in like the paces change up, some of the styles in there as well change. He manages to make it all sound really coherent with one another, but there's a lot. There's a lot going on, and I felt this album had that excitement level of like you weren't quite sure where it was going to go next. John, the screen's frozen.
sorry. Your internet cut out a sec. Yeah, you weren't.
Right.
For me, it had that level of excitement that that I kind of got when we did Herodic Blaze. it had
Yeah,
that level of like what is coming next, but I was so invested and like I hadn't really. It was just exciting, man, and it's true. Like the uplifting stuff does give it that element of like what is coming next. But like you said, there are such varied influences coming in. Like you do have that more icy tremolo-y black metal, but you also have that more like punky aspect, or like punky hardcore black metal that sort of that works its way in. But then there's heavy metal influence throughout this, isn't there? It's
yeah.
like drenched in a lot of heavy metal influence through like the riff writing, or like the guitar, some of the solos as well.
Oh, some of the solos were great as well. There's some really good little moments in there. Is he? I mean, he's a one-man band, multi instrumentalist, but does he play drums on this, or are they VST drums? I couldn't quite tell. I was leaning more that they are real drums, but part of me thought they could also be very good VST drums.
I believe they are real, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Only because like some of the double kick sections in some of the songs did have that sort of like, I don't want to say sloppiness, but there was like an almost authentic sound to it.
Natural, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I'm not too sure. Going back to the songs, then I guess track two, "Spirit of Steel." This was probably my standout song, man. I thought this song was amazing. It had like an early second wave black metal influence, like that starts off with like the blasts, but then they have this like slower midsection that delivers the kind of the vocal hook of the track, which is the title track. But it's like a really nice bridge that goes in, like it's your first dose of heavy metal. And
yeah,
there's like a really good heavy metal riff with like a really driving beat. It's just this song sort of had all the cool parts of what he's offering on display for like the first
yeah.
time, and I thought that was like a real standout song.
I remember when it kicked in, thinking, he is going to do blast beats and stuff. Because you
Yeah,
didn't really get that vibe from the first song, and it kind of opened it up for me, thinking, right, I think everything's on the table here. He's gonna. By the end of that, you were like, shit, this album is gonna delve into lots of cool stuff like throughout,
yeah,
and I think as much as I love the first song, I feel like the second one got me as as invested as possible in what's
yeah.
coming next.
Agreed. Yeah, it was like the opener was a cool introduction, and then track two was like, all right, he's arrived, man.
Well, it's like when you combine the
This is
two,
it.
though. When you're thinking of track one and then track two, you think between the two of them, he's just covered so much in that
Yeah,
sort of style of what he's doing that you just want to hear what he's going to do next. And I felt like the whole album delivered that throughout. It was constantly,
Wh-
throwing
yeah.
little curveball ideas in there, or just doing something. He's just so good at doing something cool. Like,
There, each
yeah,
song had like a unique moment, whether that was like a cool riff or like a complete change in sonics or tone that would go like from really evil to really uplifting, or vice
yeah,
versa, or like a really cool solo. Like each song had something quite standout and memorable, which was cool. Track three, "Upon Wings," like this is where he sort of injected like a pacier side for it. It was just like it was a shorter song, I think, but
yeah,
it was just a ripper from start to finish. You had like
yeah.
it injected more of that punkier black metal that we spoke about, but there was like really cool bursts of solos and stuff, and really
Yeah.
cool like heavy metal riffing in this song. Really, like
That
really
riff that he
good.
goes well, that riff he goes into, it's only like 20 seconds in, he goes into that when it does pick up that pace, first of all, that riff's really good. It sort of slides around the neck a little bit,
Yeah,
and then brings a solo in. It's, yeah, really good, man. Again, again, it sounded a bit different to the ones previous, but
yeah,
still
it did.
coherent.
But
So,
that, but
yeah,
I was going to say, but then track four is even more different. So this is the one I was talking about at the start with the. It starts off. You've got a kind of more melodic black metal, kind of like chorded
got the double
structure.
kicks and stuff, right?
Yeah, but then it switches entirely around 150, and it brings in the most ridiculously uplifting, major, positive sounding chord structures around 150, and the main melody was almost like the Libertines' "Don't Look Back into the Sun." It was
Oh my god, really?
so.
I can't remember
Yeah,
that.
Mate, I was like, this is crazy. Like to put this in a sort of
Yeah,
like black metal album, but it worked, and like almost as quickly as they went into that transition, they were out of it again, back into this really like evil, hard hitting, like punchy riff with like these really straight pounding drums. It was a real roller coaster, that song, I think.
Well, that's probably why it works, because they're going in and out of these bits quite quickly as well when they
Yeah,
do bring those in, and it because they're not sitting on them for too long. You're not getting to that point where you're like, yeah, I'm not sure on them adding this aspect to it, and it just makes it sound like a cool thing that they're adding instead.
you've cut out again. You've cut out again.
I know I'm back now, aren't I?
Oh, you're back. Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that, viewers, for the technical difficulties. Mike's
Yeah,
on
fuck's
location,
sake. Yeah, yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then I think going forward as well, like track 5, Berserker Riots, again, you had like a great mix of uplifting versus like evil and evil black metal. But there was a riff around the 2 minutes mark that had like a crazy amount of power behind it. It sort of reminded me of like a more I don't want to say like Eternal Champion esque riff, but it had like more of like a hardcore feel to it almost. It was like more metallic. It was riffier, which I really enjoyed. But what he does really well is like knowing when to repeat riffs. So like
Mm.
he'll bring back around like an opening riff or an opening section, but like never stay on it for too long. I think his songwriting on display here is really, really good.
This song is the one I was going to talk about, because this was one of my highlights, even though it was probably one of the sort of slowest and most poppiest songs on the album. And do you know what? That you mentioned Eternal Champion, but I had that in my head for quite a bit of this album, that there was Eternal Champion vibes in there. But this song, when I think of like what it reminded me of a bit, was Weezer. There
Weezer.
was that. There was that. The beat, the drum beat was that sort of Weezery sort of swing to it that they do,
Mm.
and the guitar with the melody as well. It just had a bit of a Weezer vibe, and I don't mean that in any kind of negative way, because I love Weezer anyway. But there's there's metalness to some of Weezer's riffs in the way that they do it. It's just delivered in a way that makes it sound like what they do.
I
But
kind of know what you're saying.
you could hear that within this. You really could on that song, and I thought it was fucking great. Like really, really loved it, and it was one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, I kind of know what you're saying. It was that opening riff, wasn't it? It was really melodic, really uplifting.
Yeah,
For me, it sort of did remind me of more Heraldic Blaze. It had that kind of approach to
yeah.
it. But yeah, like that song was great. Um, Voice of Vinland, track 6, was probably my least favorite song on the record, and it wasn't bad. Like it was just for me, there wasn't anything in there that was instantly like I love this moment. So like I think this
I'm
was a
surprised you're saying this. I thought this song was fucking great.
really.
There was some really good solos in this. There was one at 2 minutes 40, but the
Yeah,
bit
it
that
was
was
around the
really
midway point.
cool, but the bit at 4 minutes right near the end, it slowed down,
Yeah.
and this really badass solo came in over the top of the slow riff, and that was really fucking cool. I loved that.
Y-
I thought that song was great.
those are the two notes I've got, like the main notes for this song. Like great solo around the midway point, and then the end you had this kind of like almost sludgier section, but then
Yeah, it was
the
awesome.
drums the drums double timed over it and the pace picked up with this cool solo. Like that those parts were cool, but I just feel like the main bulk of the song didn't excite me as much as the kind of rest of the record. But then that completely changed once we went into track 7, Violent Satanism. For me, man, this song was this was also one of my favorites on the record. I
Yeah,
don't know if there was any singles from this album, but I imagine if there was, like, this feels like it would be a single.
this was like the Maiden moment, wasn't it? With the sort of the
Yeah.
galloping riffs and the fucking it was so good, man. Honestly, this album, I know we're going track by track, but this album is absolutely killer to me. It's so good.
Does this go in your all right, hang on. Before we go into the album of year chat, let's just quickly mention the last track, Cross of Fire, because it was almost double the length of any other song. Um, it was a lot slower overall. It had a lot more atmosphere. It was sort of like the first time he injected synths into the kind of mix that was so prominent.
Yeah,
And I feel like that was a smart move, because I think if they had been throughout the record, it would have. I think the fact that they're just at the end gives that a
yeah.
sense of like importance and almost
Yeah,
grandeur, and it feels like an end track, like that's sort of like
yeah.
drenched in atmosphere. I thought that was a really smart move.
I put exactly that what I wrote about this as well. It was I'm pretty sure it was the only time in the album he really used synths, and they were simple but really effective in what he picked for it,
Yeah,
and worked really really well. And yeah, as you said, they stood out because it was the only time they used them, and made that song feel like a closer because it had
yeah.
that extra texture to it.
So, all that being said, Mike, we are going to be doing an album of the year show probably next week, maybe even.
Yeah.
Does this make the list for you?
Yeah,
It does. He's going
yeah.
in. He's going in.
I think it does. I think it does, and I think it will place quite highly as well.
I mean, I've had it on repeat all morning as well
Same here.
before we did this review, and
It's
it.
been fucking. I'm gonna listen to it all afternoon as well. This is one of those albums. I can't remember many I've had this year where I've got this real like addictive feeling to wanting to listen to this again and
Yeah,
again. And this one's got it for me. Like it's so good, man. It's such a good listen. There's an element of fun to it as well,
yeah,
compared to what you get to maybe some other black metal releases where, you're listening to it for atmosphere, it's evil, it's all this. This has got this because of the melodic aspect to it, and it's got this element of fun to it as well. It's a really fantastic album. I'd like to check out the one he did before. I feel like this is probably a good evolution over the last one, but it'd be cool to hear what he did prior to that as well. And the artwork for that other one's fucking unreal as well.
amazing.
It's like,
He's got the whole aesthetic down, hasn't he? He's got it
yeah,
dialed in.
yeah.
Do you think his name's Will?
True Iron Will, True Iron
Yeah,
William. What's he
yeah,
called? He's called like the Blood Commander or something, isn't he?
yeah,
Is that his
something like that. Something like that.
Yeah. Could be
Uh,
Will. Could be Will. I
could be.
doubt it, but you never know.
You never know. Listen, if you got to this point in this video, give a like, man, because it helps us out a lot. Let us know in the comments what you thought about this one, because it's yeah. I mean, obviously you heard us gush about it for the last 15 minutes, but let us know what you think about it. Does it make your album of the year list? That'll be an interesting one to know. But yeah, give us a subscribe as well, because we put out videos every Wednesday and Friday covering the latest metal releases. But we will catch you in the next one for potentially an album of the year show. So yeah, watch out for that one.